Um, I wanted to talk about something real quick. I noticed something. I noticed that when I don't speak about certain things, a lot of things behind the scenes gets done. I handle my business, certain things get accomplished, stuff like that. But as soon as I speak and entertain bullcrap and just give it any type of attention, I notice things will start to slow up and it feels like I'm going back to square one. But as soon as I ignore it, as soon as I don't talk, as soon as I don't say nothing, everything is going cool. I noticed that ain't nothing but the devil trying to bring me down low with the next person because they low right now. So they're trying to purposely provoke me and say certain things. They're trying to lie. They're trying to do certain things to get me to react and get me at that point that they're at right now. I'm not going to talk right now. I'm going to go back to doing what I was doing beforehand, before I even started seeing certain stuff and seeing things that's going on. But one thing I do want to say, the story that's being told, and I'm starting to open my eyes now, and I'm starting to really realize people's image matters to them more than anything in their life. Friends, family, children, relationships, their image. A bunch of strangers that they don't know, their image matters to them that much, to where they will do anything in their power to try to get some strangers that's not sleeping with you at night, that don't know the real you, try to get them to believe them. I was told multiple times, I always run to the internet when something's going on. Mind you, I never ran to the internet the way that people are running to the internet now. I never ran to the internet, broke down, faked, cried. I never did nothing like I never set up a camera, started boo-hoo crying, stopped the camera, found a sad. I never did that before, knowing I'm the problem. I never did that. I went to the internet and I vented about things that I was going through. And when I say I vented, I mean I never went into full detail about what I was going through in none of my situations. I had 2 situations. I never went into full detail about what was going on until I was pushed at that point to having to defend myself and tell my truth, because people will play the victim so bad to try to get people to believe them. And then when the truth finally came out, now all of a sudden a lot of people understand. And I feel like that's what's going on with me right now. People they know what they did behind closed doors. And I'm going to honestly say this. They went too far. They went too far with this one. Because now, noticing that this little image is what they care about so bad, like validation. They say I needed validation, all of that. But you could tell who really needs validation from when they have to, every single day they posting something sad to make it seem like they were so betrayed, so hurt. All because they're facing the consequences of their actions behind closed doors. They're trying to act like they're the ones betrayed. It's just the fact that somebody finally spoke up and stood up for themselves. And now that you have to face the consequences of your actions behind closed doors, now you want to run to strangers for internet validation. Cry. Make it seem like that, oh, I'm just this good person that doesn't do wrong to nobody. It's not the first situation that this has happened. And when people realize and understand down the line, when the truth finally comes out, that this is not the first situation that this has happened, I want everybody to have the same opinions against me that they already had. Oh, she's a kid. She's just this. She doesn't understand you. Maybe I don't understand. But one thing I know for sure is everything that I've done the past few years, mind you, the story that's being put out, that's my story. That is actually my story. I seen certain clickbaited titles, and I never knew that. I ain't know nothing about this. I was young and naive. But that story that's being put out right now, that's my actual story. People making clickbaited titles saying, oh yeah, I never realized I was manipulated for years. That's my story. That is my story, but since I never spoke about it, and when I finally do decide to speak about it, now people don't believe me because the one who tried to rewrite the story said it first. So now they believe that that's their story. Whole time, this is not the first situation that this has happened. When people try to rewrite stories on other people. And forget other people, speaking back on me. I'm not the type of girl that'll meet somebody and like play a role and act like they're this good type of person. That's how I got fooled as well. Just like how everybody else on the internet is getting fooled. I got fooled the same way. I believed the lies. I believed it was a mask on. I believed it. Soon as that mask fell off and I started seeing the real years down the line, now people are trying to paint it and rewrite the story to make it seem like I'm the bad person. After admitting on the phone, not just one person, not just two people, everybody on that end admitted that I am a sweet person. I don't come in relationships and start terrorizing people off of my past. If I ever was to switch up on somebody or start switching up on somebody, that's because I was betrayed first. And that's because I was hurt first. I don't randomly just start doing people a certain way because of what I went through in my childhood, in a past relationship. I don't do that. I come in, I overlove, I overdo stuff for people. They end up being ungrateful about it. They end up taking advantage of my kindness, my care. They do all of that. And then once I stop doing, then they have something to complain about. Then it's oh, you never did this for me. You never did that for me. People are trying to rewrite a story to make it seem like I used them. Like I wasn't there when people had situations going on in a whole nother state. I was in a whole nother state doing for people out of me being kind. I don't keep tabs. I don't do stuff like that until you start being ungrateful and claiming I never did nothing and I used a person. I don't need to use a soul for nothing at all whatsoever. I don't need to terrorize and fuck up people's feelings. I don't need to do that. I'm not that type of girl. But one thing people are going to realize down the line, one thing I do believe in is karma. People can run away from their problems all they want. Get new situations. Get people on their side. Random people at that. They could do that all they want. But one thing about it, karma ain't got no date. And it ain't never going to be a peaceful life for somebody that'll do something like that. Especially to somebody that they know is a good-hearted person. Once again, I always got the back end of the stick on a lot of situations. I always got the back end of the stick. Somebody will be going through something with their family. But since I'm around, I would get the back end of the stick. I will be the one that'll get the anger. I'll be the one that get the disrespect. And I will still try to be loyal, stay solid, like understand. But when it's a repeated thing, that it keeps happening, that I keep getting the back, like I keep getting it over and over. Somebody could be going through something with their children's mom or their baby father, something along those lines. I will get the one, the anger will be taken out on me. Like I said, arguing, disrespect, hands and feet, all of that. I will be the one that get that. But then when I start to fall back a little bit and finally try to love myself, now all of a sudden I'm betraying people. Now all of a sudden I'm turning my back on people. When for years, 4 years, I've tried to make a lot of situations work, even after all of the disrespect I've endured, all of the, I can't talk right now, but a lot of shit that I endured, I still tried to make it work. And I'm just tired of it. I'm honestly tired of it. Hold on one second. I was my baby in the background, but I'm honestly tired of it. It's weighing on my heart heavy because, again, not only is people on the internet being fooled, this is the same way how I fell for certain things. I was fooled the same way for years. But once I started to see and notice patterns in certain things, there's a lot that I know that people are trying to hide so bad because they are afraid of the truth really, really coming out. So they try to hurry up and run with this story, run with this narrative. They try to make it seem like that I'm the problem. Pay real close attention to what a person's doing on the internet. No. That's not going to stop me from being silent and speaking of what I went through. Just because I get on the internet and vent about how I feel, if someone takes venting from disrespecting and bashing, you know you're guilty for something. You know you did something, and you know you don't want it to really get out there of who you really are. So you try to manipulate everyone else by saying, oh, pay attention, they know the real, people know the real know the real, the fake know the, like, you try to say stuff like that to try to really get people to care for you, to get people to be on your side. And that's just, you went too far. You went way too far. And again, I'm not going to speak right now. I'm going to let it all play out. I'm going to let it, people think they won the internet. I'm going to let people think that the people that's saying, oh, I hope you're okay, I'm going to let those people think that you were the one that was hurt. I'm going to let these people believe that you're the innocent one. No matter how many times a person will say, I'm not perfect. You say that on the internet. But behind closed doors, it was repeated things going on behind closed doors that people would apologize on the internet about, but still do it again. I'm going to let people believe a lot of stuff that's being told about me. I'm going to let people try to paint me out as somebody that's childish or somebody that's young. You should have known better than this. No. I'm going to let people think that. I'm not going to let people hold anyone else accountable for them being way older and already knowing more about life than me. I'm going to let people still say that I'm too young. I'm going to let people think that. I'm going to let people believe just anything about me. But once again, how people always like to run with and say, God knows everything. God sees it all. He sure do. And I want people to still get on the internet, cry like they care. I know it's a performance. I know it's an act. But other people don't. And when it finally shows, and when people finally see and understand that it was all an act, because the type of girl people are trying to portray me to be, once again, clickbait title saying that a person older than me, way older than me, a decade older, was manipulated by 18-year-old me. I'm going to let people use clickbaited titles to make it seem like, because it's, I hate when people try to say, oh, well, they never spoke on her for real. They always never really told it. No. People fail to realize that things are low-key being said. They're low-key trying to paint a picture, like trying to paint a narrative of me. Again, if you pay attention to the clickbaited titles on YouTube, where it's saying that people were secretly being cheated on. Never in my life. In this situation that I have dealt with, my last situation, it was a cheating situation going on to where that party was cheating and then it turned into a tit for tat type of thing. I will admit that it did happen. But this situation right here that I actually really put my all into, after I said a long time ago, after I specifically told that person, I'm afraid to put my all into somebody else because I was hurt in my last situation, and they told me that they would never hurt me. They told me that physically, mentally, emotionally, none of that. And the fact that I see this going on today, to try to paint a narrative to make it seem like that I'm the one that's doing stuff to somebody, karma gonna get it. Karma gonna handle that. It's gonna handle that one. I'm not gonna lie. That's why a lot of stuff is going on when I talk. That's why stuff slows up for me, because God's like, I'ma handle it. You don't even gotta say much because I'ma handle it. No matter what the karma is, no matter if people keep losing people in life, no matter if certain things happen, no matter what. Again, I ain't never seen a person go this hard right now until after they face the consequences of their actions. You ain't never seen nobody cry like this on the internet before. And nobody knows what's going on behind closed doors, but this certain person never was crying on the internet like this until after they faced the consequences of their actions behind closed doors. Now they're trying to rewrite the story to make it seem like they were hurt and betrayed. Your actions is why certain things is going on the way it's going on. You giving people cliffhangers by not saying too much, but trying to show sadness. When people ask what's going on, nothing's being said. My baby keeps being posted for sympathy, not for no. This is why I have to fight for my baby, because I know what a person really care about. I don't care who they fool in this world. I know what a person really care about, and that's their image and their reputation. It ain't nothing else in this world. Somebody has put something on another person before, say they would never do this again, and they did it again. So I don't believe that they care about nothing in this world but themselves. It was made clear multiple times, stated multiple times, that they don't care about nothing. They're all about them. And now that this situation is going on, I'm starting to finally see and understand that it's all about them. They have to be looked at in a good light. I don't care if I'm not looked at in. I'm perfectly fine with being misunderstood for a while. I'm perfectly fine with people not understanding what's going on. The people that said something to me, that tried to say I'm a liar about certain situations, I proved it off the scenes, behind closed doors, in DMs, and those people didn't even respond back. I just sat there and looked at the message, because it's not the girls that said certain things. It probably is on another person's social medias, but on mine, I don't really see girls coming at me or doing anything like that. It's the dudes. The dudes that worship someone that you don't even know for real, in real life, in real time. You worship this person all because you see someone crying on the internet. You just automatically believe it. But when the truth reveals itself, now all of a sudden it's oh, I didn't know this was going on. I didn't know that person said this. I didn't know that said that. And trust and believe. One thing I'm also going to say, for the people that say, oh, this shouldn't be happening off of y'all problems. You shouldn't be doing this off of y'all problems. It's far from my problems. Someone tried to say, oh, well, don't do this because y'all not talking no more. He doesn't mess with you. No. It's not that. It's far from that. Y'all fail to understand. I'm the one that got tired of a lot of situations. I'm the one that finally had to realize certain stuff wasn't going to be able to be fixed because other patterns kept happening. Nobody left me. I don't know where y'all got that narrative from. Nobody left me. So when y'all try to tell me that, I look real crazy at the phone, because I'm like, where are y'all getting this narrative that something was like somebody left me? Where are y'all getting this narrative from? And the fact that people, again, are on the internet saying, oh, I'm just so hurt for what was done to me. Please say what was done to you. Please say what was done to you. I genuinely want to know what was done to you. Because at this point, it's like the lies is making it look like it's the truth. How good people are performing it, it's look like it's the truth, when it's not, though. Again, that's how I got. That's how I felt for a lot of situations. That's how I felt for a lot of things. I remember a family member saying, don't deal with somebody older. They're going to take advantage. And I'm like, what? But me being young and naive at the time, I didn't understand what they meant by that. And now that people are trying to portray me as this person that just did so wrong, made sure people was good from a whole different state away, let people even come out here so they didn't even have to deal with other situations behind closed doors, tried to give everything that they always wanted besides the most expensive thing that I couldn't get, everything else got. Emotions, tried to be there emotionally, did. If I couldn't for certain situations, probably because I didn't know how to handle it. But I tried my hardest with a lot of things. So the fact that I feel like I got stabbed in the back because now I'm trying to protect what's right is crazy. People are trying to get me to go off because I'm starting to see the strategy. They're trying to get me to go off, yell at the phone or yell in general, and then hit record. And then try to make it seem like that I'm the one that's crazy. Trying to fuck up my mental so I can't care for my baby, so people could try to make it look like I'm unfit to care for my baby when that's not the case at all. Stuff is being portrayed about me and stuff is being portrayed about my baby when I know the real because I've experienced it. So the fact that people are on this internet trying to tell me that I didn't experience something or I'm lying about something is like a literal slap in my face. The fact that a person that knows how I really am trying to rewrite the story, trying to rewrite history, trying to make it seem like I'm this, that, and the third, that's a slap in my face and that's a stab in my back. Once again, I am totally fine with telling everything that's going on. But I'm not going to give no cliffhanger and say, oh, everything this was done to me, they hurt me bad, da-da-da-da. And when someone asks what's going on, not respond. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to play this innocent role on the internet to make it seem like that I was hurt. Because they're facing consequences of their actions. It's just very sad. And again, it's not the first situation. If you're dealing with this in 2 situations or dealt with this in 2 situations and the internet still believes, keep your head up. You got this. I can't believe this has happened to you. I'm sorry this has happened to you. When it happened 2 times, I don't understand. People would indirectly, months ago, post certain videos, but would try to say they're speaking on another person. They never spoke on another person on the internet before, but now that this situation is going on, now they're all of a sudden making TikTok videos about the other person that they had a problem with as well back then. Find it real ironic. The fact that a person would say they don't post this because they just never do. They don't want family on the internet. But now that my situation is going on, they're posting all day, every day about my situation. I find it real crazy. It's like people are trying to hurry up and run and tell a story. So when the truth finally comes out, nobody will believe it because they're like, well, why are you just now saying something? Down the line, I don't care if it takes days. I don't care if it takes months. I don't care if it takes years. The truth will get out. And everybody that tried to look at me in a certain type of way, the people that tried to dim my light, that tried to downplay me, belittle me, make it seem like that I'm what they are in real life, the truth will come out. Not on my timing, but God's timing. Not on my timing, but karma's timing. It'll eventually come out. You can't hide what you really are in real life forever. And I see that people are trying to fuck with my mind, fuck with my mental. I'm just noticing it because they're posting things that I went through. I really went through. Whatever delusional fantasy people have going on in their heads that they're really believing, I let them believe it. Because at the end of the day, you could say I could lie. People could call me a liar all they want. But at the end of the day, things that don't lie, screenshots, screen recordings, restraining orders, that doesn't lie at all. Sorry again, my baby was fussing. But to wrap this up, basically, I'm totally fine with being a villain in people's delusional heads, stories, their brain. I'm perfectly fine with being a villain. I'm perfectly fine with being seen differently by others because they want to believe a lie, all because someone ran to the internet first. I'm perfectly fine with being misunderstood for a while. At the end of the day, I know the people on the internet that's saying, oh, I hope you're okay, oh, this, da, 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 whoop-de-whoop, to a lie, I know at the end of the day, people are doing that so they could get validation. So they can be like back in control. Because now that they can control anything else, now they're trying to control the internet. Now they're trying to get validation from the internet. Because they feel they lost power. And I start to study that. I'm starting to study a lot of things behind the scenes. And really start to study people. And once you study them and really start to figure them out and see what they're doing, a lot of stuff you just don't go for anymore. So, again, it's okay. Don't matter if it takes days, months, weeks, years. Like I said, it is okay. But all I want to say is, they went too far with this one. They definitely went too far with this one. They could try to say they'll never be the same again. They'll be hurt off of what happened to them. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. No cheating happened. I could guarantee you on my end, no cheating happened. I noticed that in a lot of situations I was thinking about back then. A lot of like back and forth debates. I noticed how a person tried to throw that on me. Knowing I don't be talking to nothing. Knowing I don't be I don't be doing nothing. Because I've always told a person, if I really was cheating, and it's been all these years, wouldn't you think somebody would have came out and said something to you by now? I've said that. Not one thing of proof that shows that I was cheating that they have. Not one thing like that. It doesn't exist. So when people make clickbait YouTube titles stating, oh, I'm secretly being cheated on, and they can't say they're talking about someone else and be like, oh, you just feel guilty about it because I wasn't talking. No. People know what's going on. Of course, they're going to assume if they have a situation going on right now on the internet publicly that everybody knows that they're in a situation, and you make a YouTube title stating I was secretly being cheated on and don't clear it up at all. I see that back then people was trying to paint me to be something else that I'm not. I noticed it. I peeped it. I'm finally understanding for years I was being manipulated. A lot of people on the internet publicly know certain situations that they were going through was going on for years. So again, trying to paint a narrative of me that I'm not. I'm noticing that. I'm peeping, I'm watching, I'm paying attention, I'm noticing it. I'm starting to honestly finally see and really understand. And it makes me so upset how far a person would go to save their image, save their reputation. Everything, every single thing could have been avoided. Honestly, everything, even behind closed doors, could have been avoided if accountability was really just taken. That's all it is. Accountability could be taken and change actually happened. But since neither one of those things happened, and since people want to continue to play the sob story and continue to play the victim on the internet, now it turned into something deeper than what it really was. It's deeper beyond social media. It's beyond social media. It's the fact that I'm being painted or trying to be painted as this type of girl that people are trying to put out, and I'm not. I'm so sick and tired of grown men playing this act on the internet. I am so tired of that. And that's not going to silence me. That's not going to silence me, no matter what. I know that people even try deleting comments when other people try to tell the real about them. So you can tell how much someone really cares about their image to where they try to just block out everything. That the people that know the real them, they try to block out everything to just continue to make it seem like that they're this type of person on the internet when they are not. But it's okay. I'm gonna just watch it all play out. I'm gonna let it play out. I'm gonna let God handle it. And I'm not just saying this because I'm hurting going through something. I don't use God when I'm just hurting going through something. randomly just be like, oh yeah, I'm so hurt, Lord help. I don't do that. I always will put it in. I will make sure God handles it. Like, I would just let him, I would just give my problems to him. He will be able to handle it. Because if I was to handle it, I don't need to do that. Like, if I was to handle it, it would not, it's pointless to even like, I don't even know what to say. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's pointless to try to handle a situation where people are going to lie, twist it, and just be like, see, I told you she was tripping. She always gets on it. I told you. So there's no point of me trying to handle it right now and just like blurt everything out. There's no point of that. Karma will handle it. God's going to handle it. Whether it's to continue taking people out of people's lives, whether it's losing certain things, whatever it is, I'm going to just sit back and let it play out. I'm going to let it happen. And I don't want to hear a soul when everything finally gets out. I don't want to hear a soul. Because I've tried breaking down, I've tried explaining certain situations I was going through without going into even a full detail. I was just online venting. And me venting, made somebody turn that into twisting things that I said, making it seem like it's something else that it wasn't, trying to turn it into a narrative. So that's fine. Not gonna talk about it, not gonna speak about it. If y'all believe I'm the one that's the problem, I'm the one that's tripping, mind you, I've only been in 2 situations. One situation was a cheating situation. Had nothing, that was it was just cheating. The other situation, well, yeah, wouldn't say it was a cheating situation, but I hate how people try to minimize it. I hate people try to say, well, I was so loyal. Being loyal doesn't mean shit when it's constant disrespect, belittling, all of that, comparing, bringing females up, all of that. Oh, and the biggest thing of all that they're facing consequences for, that as well. Loyalty means nothing when all of that's going on. Love, people use that love word very loosely. Because if you loved somebody the way you claim you love more than yourself, a lot of this stuff wouldn't even be happening. Behind closed doors, on the internet, I've always stated, if I was really being treated cool, you're not going to see me on the internet for real. You're not going to see me trying to vent on the internet if I really was being treated the right way. So while people say pay close attention, no. Y'all need to really pay close attention to what I have going on. Because I'm not going to be on the internet if I'm treated correctly. I'm not going to be on the internet if I'm not going through anything behind closed doors. Everything will be perfectly fine. And people just try to, it's crazy. It's cool though. It's totally cool. At the end of the day, like I said, people went too far. And I'll be a liar how people try to make it seem. But once again, those 3 things, they don't lie. I'm out.